Wollongong City and South Melbourne were highly fancied to reach the NSL Final 5 without too much trouble earlier this season. Both teams, however, have since experienced form slumps and are in danger of missing out in the race for the league title. South Melbourne's visit to Brandon Park yesterday was expected to provide fans with a goal feast, enough to springboard either team clear of semi-final obscurity. But as Michael Tomalaris reports, goals were hard to come by, a trademark which has become the norm for any visiting team travelling to the Gong.
The steel city of Wollongong, better known for trying to boost the nation's fluctuating economy, these days a haven for sporting success. It is often said that when the Gong's teams are bathing in glory, the city's 150,000 inhabitants stand proud. The same applies to its soccer team. The Wolves are reflecting on their best on-field performance in 5 years with a healthy increase at home crowds. It's this close-knit community that is rubbing off on players.
Well, I think if you have a look at any particular team that comes from a regional area like Wollongong or Newcastle or so on, Canberra, it's important that the teams that represent that particular area perform well. So I think it's crucial that Wollongong and the Wolves, as us, because we are the ones playing there, that we have positive results and good results for the whole of the Wollongong area. Plenty
is again expected from the Wolves this season, but there's been little to celebrate in recent weeks. Before yesterday's tie with South Melbourne, Wollongong City had earned just 1 point in 4 matches. With just 23 goals scored in as many matches, Wollongong is in desperate need of a reliable striker. Wollongong City's unimpressive goal-scoring record may hold the key to its league chances, but South Melbourne may go into the Final 5 playoffs with a contrasting dilemma. With 47 goals for, Hellas's record is one of the best in the league. But with 26 against, there's every reason why coach Ferenc Puskás can be excused for having many sleepless nights in a bid to tighten up his team's leaky defence. South Melbourne is suffering its worst sequence of results since Puskás took over as coach. The 3-1 loss to Sydney Olympic last week has placed the Melbourne Blues under enormous pressure to retain their championship title.
We thought it was going to be tough this season, and it's only up until now that we sort of haven't believed that it was going to happen. It's getting tougher as the rounds go on. So this will be a good test of our mettle, whether we're good enough to go back-to-back or not. We'll just find out tonight in the next 90 minutes, that's for sure.
Despite Wade's promise for positive football, it was clear the Victorians had come to Brandon Park to play for a draw. Wollongong introduced its muscle power on Kimon Taliadoros. The absence of suspended midfielder Mick Peterson opened up gaping holes in Wollongong's forward line. Grant Bard came close to breaking the deadlock. One of the most promising aspects in Wollongong's fight for premiership survival has been the emergence of Claude Cellini. The midfielder gratefully accepted a Martin Bourke cross, only to push it wide of the mark. Half an hour had passed, and still South Melbourne was looking for its first real chance. Its hopes were cut down with striker Peter Tsolakis.
It was just an unfortunate incident. It was a 50-50 ball, and we both hit the ball together at the same time, and my knee sort of gave way and flicked out, and I think I've done a bit of damage to the medial ligament. Wollongong
continued to soak up pressure. Youngster Matt Horsley came within centimetres of adding to his one and only NSL goal. Wollongong tried to penetrate South Melbourne's defence after the break. Clever skills by Bard added to the frustration. Shortly after, MacLaren blotted out Yankos' attempted free kick. With 20 minutes remaining, Wollongong's best chance came from the diving header of Bard. The Wolves were howling, but the goals were nowhere to be seen. Horsley came close on this occasion. The home team appeared to have made its long-awaited breakthrough shortly before the final whistle. Mick Smith's cross was headed down by Bourke when the ball was frantically cleared off the line. The stalemate leaves both sides in a vulnerable position.
It's obviously not what we wanted. We hoping to get 2 points tonight. I mean, 1 point obviously keeps us in a reasonable situation, but I mean, 2 obviously would have jumped us above South Melbourne, but we're still in there with a chance.